Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC here at IWA and the Helikon Tex stand. Now, it's no secret, I love Helikon Tex, so coming to this every single year is great to see some of the new products that are coming out, and there is a lot to see today, there really is a lot. They've also given me an incredibly high amount of caffeine shot of coffee, so if I'm a bit jittery, that's why. It explains it. Okay, now the first one that we're gonna have a look at today is the winter Yukon jacket. Really, really nice. So similar materials that you've seen on some of other Helikon Tex. So this is made with the Dura canvas, full zip on the front, pockets on there, but then this also has, I think it's the Climber Shield or Climber Loft insulation on this. Very similar grammage, which I think was about kind of 67 grams per square meter, which is very similar to the Wolfhound jacket, but with the additional rugged nature that you're going to be able to get with an outdoor jacket like this. This is of course part of their Bushcraft range. On the sides you've got some little Molly Pals webbing on the side, just in case you need to attach anything to this, so you don't have to keep lifting up your shirt. But it does have the double zip on this, and then on the inside then you've got some additional pockets should you need to. I think this is going to be really popular in the fact that when you look at the Pilgrim smock, Pilgrim smock's been very popular for Helikon Tex and their Bushcraft range, but it hasn't got that thermal insulation that some of them have. Having the Dura canvas on this and thermal insulation, this is going to be, I'm putting this out there already, this is going to be a very popular jacket. Now there are some additional jackets or shirts. So this is the winter Warden shirt. Luckily Helikon Tex are really good because they put all of the names down here at the bottom, so it's easy to find the stuff. So this is the winter Warden shirt. It's got that nice kind of flannel shirt look and feel to it, but it's quilted on the inside, which is going to be great. Press studs on the front, very nice options. You've got you got the regular style pockets on the outside, plus a little fast access pocket here on the chest, and additionally you've got some zip pockets on the inside with mesh, just in case you've got those cold weather items or something that you need to warm up, or maybe something that's gone ever so slightly wet that you can put in there too. Now there is an addition to here, which is here on the back. You can't quite see this, but I put some B-roll in here. But this is the Bushcraft, they call it the Bushcraft, what is it called? Yeah, it's the Bushcraft first aid kit. So there is a fast pull release tab on this, quick access to an IFAK, so if you're out and you're doing some bushcrafting and you've hurt yourself, then you can get instant access to this, pull it up and you're good. Now dependent on, let's say you have cut one of your hands and you don't have access to that hand, there's a tab on. I'm not going to, there's probably a lot of people have had their teeth on this whilst they've been here. You can hold on to this with your teeth, pull this open so that you can then get access again if you are limited to the hands that you have. On the inside, additional bungee cords on here so that you can put medical gear. There is also a removable pouch. This can be took out, so if you want to create yourself a bumps and scrapes style pouch, then you can put your little kind of plasters and stuff into there. And then additionally on here, then there's additional pouches for things like tourniquets, things like that you need at a pinch, especially when it's time dependent, if you have a lot of claret flowing from your body. But this pouch can be worn on the hip, it can be attached to a backpack, anything like that, quick access to your medical stuff. One of the massive reveals last year at IWA was the Rhodesian camo, and they've done it again. Helikon Tex are bringing back new camos. I just love the fact that they're spearheading taking old-fashioned camos and bringing them back to life in modern day kind of gear. Duck Hunter camo is going to be the next big thing from Helikon Tex. You'll probably see a lot of other companies doing this, because I really do think that Helikon Tex are the trendsetter. I hate to use the term trendsetter, it just sounds tacky sometimes, but it's a great term for it. Duck camo. You're going to be seeing a lot more duck camo this year, and probably from now on as well. Now, a new line this year from Helikon Tex will be around the EMT kind of side and search and rescue with their SAR vest. A lot of modularity to this one. Now, the version that you can see here, so there's actually a few different pieces that you can see here. So at the base level, you have the vest itself. This will be available in the high-vis version that you have here, but there will also be a completely plain black muted version depending on what services that you're working for and what colors you're allowed to wear. The vest itself, it has molle or at least PALS webbing all the way through the front. It's also made from the quite robust mesh that Helikon Tex use. So hopefully it will be very breathable depending on where you are in the world as well, if that's certainly something that you find important. Behind the PALS webbing on both sides, there are additional pockets here should you need to be able to store anything in there. But that whole panel on the front with the PALS webbing on there is designed specifically for some of the newer pouches for the SAR vest. Now, I did ask if this was kind of one unit. I believe when this comes out, it will be the vest, and then there are these separate pouches. But if they become, how popular they become, they might possibly look into that, but it's not something they're looking at this moment. It's just the vest and these separate pouches. But the pouches themselves have been designed around the uses that are going to be needed for medical community and people that will need to use these. So, for example, this pouch here, you have the hook and loop on the front here, so if you need to be able to take these off, or if there are certain emergency services insignias or patches that you need to use, you can replace these. On the front, you have this really nice expandable section, so if you need quick access to your gloves, again, you know, this is what these have been designed to, then you've got that on the front for quick, you've got your gloves. Then on the inside of here, you have a lot of these. Well, I say a lot of these, you just get the one with this one, but there are a few different pouches that have these. So if you can remember back to last year when they released the rat waste pack, these were used as a modular insert so that you could put your I know, an IFAC or what are they called, a tourniquet or additional magazines onto these. So these can be used in that exact way. So if you maybe have a few of these, you can put them in, take them out. So rather than having to restock this, you can just quickly replace this and put those back in. Plenty of hook and loop on the inside of this. Again, if you have certain pouches that you use and you want to be able to get and just replace those. This pouch up here, very similar to this one, whereas with this one it has a larger hook and loop panel on the front and doesn't have the quick access to the gloves. So this one, ever so slightly smaller, very similar setup, and then you have this additional panel in here that you can add and remove. Other small, nice little features, like if you need to get to certain tapes, then they have one of these little hooks that you can pass your tape through. And then as well, so behind here, hopefully you'll be able to see that you have your trauma shears. The trauma shears have been set up so this can work either vertically or horizontally, and then you have additional PALS webbing on the front of the trauma shears holder. I'm not sure exactly what they've called it. Probably as a trauma shears holder, but if you want to, this can be put in vertically behind one of these pouches, and then you can use the PALS webbing on the front to still be able to add the pouch to the front of that to be able to use the area on your chest a little bit better. Another area that Helikon Tex are expanding their gear into is with optics and eye protection. So they have 3 different types of eye protection that will be available this year, depending on whether you want something for your everyday use, whether you're after something that can be used at the range, or whether you're after something that can just be used whilst you're outside, just on your daily adventures. All of these come in a few different options, whether you want to have them so that they're just kind of your normal glass or whether they're polarized. And they also have different light lens colors. Some of them as well. So let's say if you took the range glasses, for example, You can buy these in different versions in the respect of how many different lenses you get with these. So you can buy them just with the clear lenses, or you can get them in a larger pack, which will come with the other 2 different colors that are in there. Very easy to be able to swap in between the different lenses, as you can see with other similar style manufacturers. And one of the other additional advantages with these, whether you go for the more everyday, whether you go for the range, or whether you go for your outdoors kind of adventuring, these are all ballistics rated. There are a few different ballistics ratings that they've gone for, whether it's civilian ratings or whether there are NATO ratings, but with all of these will keep your eyes protected. I think they've come in at a very good kind of mark for the price on these. There will be differing prices depending on which version you go for, whether you're going for all of the lenses or whether just some of the lenses, but these are going to come in around that kind of 65 to 70 euros. I think these are going to get used a lot, and you're going to be, especially with airsoft, you get these at the range as well because they are ballistic rated, but these are going to be very popular. Now, last but most definitely not least, having a little look at the patrol line, there are a few more items here this year. So first of all, we have the Recce Chest rig. This is designed to carry your ammunition. So the way that this is set up, you have 4 M4 magazine pouches on the front, and then there are 2 additional magazines that you can attach to the back. All of the pouches, or at least all of the tabs, all of the covers on these can be removed, and it also comes with the bungee cords, so if you want to fast reload, then you've got your bungee cords on there as well. I know certain people prefer that. On the front, additional storage for admin sections, and then you have 2 grenade pouches either side. The beauty of these grenade pouches on here is that if you want to, you can use the double pistol magazine pouches from the competition rig, which we have on this one here. These will fit into here. So if you already have the competition rig and you have some of the pouches, they're all completely interchangeable with this, so that you can add, rather than a single grenade on this side, then you can put double magazines in here, and it works exactly the same on the other side. Now, the system on this is an expanded X system on the back, so the harness on this, some people prefer an X harness, some prefer an H harness. With this one, this is going to be a lot easier to get on, and there's going to be less issues with crossover on the back due to the stitched in flange. I don't know what you'd call it, but that is on the back here. It will make it so much easier to put on. It's made with mesh. You're probably thinking sweat management, that's going to be a little bit warmer. It probably is going to be a little bit warmer, but with the mesh on the back of here, it will help to reduce some of that sweating. Really looking forward. Oh, forgot to mention as well, so on the bottom here, rather than having a lift up with hook and loop, because this is stitched on, it's stitched on with because of the 2 mag pouches at the back here, so this can't be lifted. Instead, if you do have a dangler or a FUPA pack that you want to run across the front here, you can use that with the PALS webbing that runs across the bottom. Now we're going to stay with this mannequin now, because there is also another one on here, and this is the Tracer anorak. You all know, as far as the anoraks are concerned, I'm a massive fan of the Woodsman anorak. The Tracer anorak has used the Woodsman anorak as a base to build on that. The difference with the Tracer anorak from the Woodsman is that the Woodsman has the Versa stretch, I think it is, on the back, and then on the front. So this one doesn't have the Versa stretch on the back. This is the Dynaco all the way around, and it's the ripstop. So it'll actually be a little bit more tougher for prolonged wear and tear. Also, the subtle differences between the Tracer and the Woodsman is that the Tracer also has additional storage on the biceps on both sides, and on the front here there is an additional pocket. So the Woodsman had the Kangaroo Joey pouch on the front. This one has exactly the same, but in front of that, for easy access, you have this pouch here for, I don't know, you know, whatever it is you want to put in there. It could be some Skittles, it could be some crayons, it could be a compass, but whatever it is, you've got the extra additional option on the front of the Tracer anorak. Another utility pouch that Helikon Tex have come out with will be fully compatible with the Guardian system that they have. So it will work with the Guardian plate carrier and all of the other peripherals that come with that. Here we have it situated on the side, but this can be used to store a 1 litre Nalgene style bottle. Now I will say, by the looks and the dimensions of this, it's going to be one of the shorter, stubbier ones rather than one of the taller, longer Nalgenes. But you get instant access from the top with a zip. Now I also like the fact that they've gone double zips. I'm a big fan of double zips, so whether you're going in from the left or the right, depending on what side of your system that you're carrying it on, then you get instant access to that. Now they've increased the modularity. I like to say the modularity, so let's say it again, modularity. On the inside here, so there is additional storage. So if you want to run a radio, you can also use this as a radio pouch. You have your radio tabs on here, and then you can make sure that this loops over the antenna. Because of the size of this, if you're running a larger radio, then this will be great for that. And I guess because of the double zips, if you have something that's coming out of the top of that, your antenna's coming out, then you get additional kind of clearance for that too. I quite like the look of this. I'm gonna have to pick one of these up as well. Now last but definitely not least, we have a new backpack, which is the Ambush backpack. I think the literage on this, I think they said that it's going to be around kind of 24, 25, 26 litres. On the back here for extra, there you go, how nice was that, quick deploy. You have a beaver tail on here, so if you want to put something, maybe a jacket in here, but this is really going to be for carrying a helmet, which I guess will also have an EDC style use if you're commuting into work and want to put a cycle helmet in here, you can do that. On the front, you've got 2 combat style pouches on here. So the one at the bottom here has 2 administration pouches on the inside, but if you want to put in some more magazines into here, these are double stack M4 style pouches. And then you've got some mesh on the front. Then on the top, you also have an additional quick access pouch in here, whereas with this one, this has that nice felt lining. So if you need to put some optics, if you need to put some iPro into here, maybe even you want to put your mobile phone into here so that it doesn't get scratched, then that'll be great. Now on the sides, and these are integrated into the actual pack itself, you have 2 additional pouches which will open up. These aren't expandable, but you do have, oh, actually they are, so you do have a bungee cord on the side here so that you can close these down if they're not being used. But, you know, if you're carrying some ammunition, you can fit 4 M4 style pouches into each of these, and there's 1 on each side, which is always great. On the sides, for additional modularity, we've got some more PALS webbing so that you can put any of the, these are 2 columns? Yes, they are 2 columns. So you've got 2 columns and 3 rows on here. So if you have any more kind of pouches, you can put those onto the side. And then, where are we? Oh, it's on this side. Double zips, quick access, although I forgot where the zips were, into the main section. Now, as I say, this is going to be around, I did check, I think it's around that kind of 24, 25 litres. Great for EDC, great for day walks, great for all of that kind of one-day events. And then in the back, you also have your hydration hook on the top. They've opted for a central hydration hose on this, so rather than having to be left or right, you can feed it out from whichever side that you choose. Helikon Tex IWA2024 have not disappointed. There's some really nice stuff. The 2, and I'm pointing over there because they are over there, but the 2 new jackets on the Bushcraft line look really nice. Very interested on that Recce Chest rig. It's going to be an exciting year for Helikon Tex. They're probably going to keep us waiting. We waited all year for the SAS smock to come out, the SAS jacket to come out, so I think they're going to possibly do the same. I'll try and see if I can get some a little bit earlier, but very exciting stuff coming from Helikon Tex in 2024 and beyond. Stay tuned for more from IWA and Moorlander EDC.